All right, so I'm going to go over a quick trade that I took this morning because today was a good trade, and I kind of want to walk you through what I was looking at, what I marked out, why I took the trade, and hopefully you can implement these same concepts into your trading style and become a profitable trader. So let's get started. So, first things first, we're on the 15-minute chart. And what I want to do is I want to try to mark out the most obvious 15-minute highs and lows there are on the current chart. I am in replay mode. I did take this trade live this morning, but I'm in replay mode so I can just walk you through step by step of exactly what I was looking at. So first we want to mark out these highs and lows, right? So we have a high right here. That's obvious. Obvious high right there. Another obvious high right there. Okay. So that's our buy side liquidity, right? And those would be areas that if we were going to go long, that we could potentially use as a target for our take profit. Okay. And then I want to do the same thing for sell side liquidity, which are these lows, this low. We have this low, and then we also have this low. Okay. So we now have our external high, external low, and then these are all internal liquidity highs and lows. So this is our range, right? Now, next thing I want to do is I want to go to the 5-minute chart and I want to see if anything stands out on the 5-minute chart. You can do this on the 1 hour chart, you can do this on the 30-minute chart. It's all up to you. It depends on your edge and how you like to trade, okay? Does anything stick out to me on the 5-minute chart? Well, we have these highs, and then we also have these highs. But we also have a 5-minute fair value gap right here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and mark that 5-minute fair value gap. Okay, and then we also have a 5-minute fair value gap here as well as here, and we can just go ahead and combine those two as one 5-minute fair value gap. Okay, now that we have all of our key levels marked out, now we're just going to wait for an entry, and our entry, I'm sorry, not our entry, but our concept of trading is we're going to take a reversal off of any one of these key levels that we had marked out. Okay, so let's go to the 1 minute, and you can see what was happening. So we still have all of our key levels marked out. Now we're just waiting, right? You could take an entry now if you want to, if your setup presents itself. I like to wait for New York open before I take my entry. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and rewind this a little bit more just so you can see this key level get swept. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. And then right there we have that key level get swept, right? And we're not buying immediately after this key level gets swept because we don't know if it's going to stop here or here or here or down here. Nobody knows, right? We just got to be ready for the reversal when it presents itself. So as we're waiting for our setup, we can go ahead and mark out this fair value gap on the 1 minute. Okay, and then we're just waiting. Go ahead and extend that a little bit. Okay, now, as you can see right here, we did get the 1 minute fair value gap inversion. And a lot of people might say, well, Justin, why didn't you take this trade right here? Right? How come you didn't buy in right when it inverted on the 1 minute chart? Well, there's a couple reasons. Like I said, I don't like to take a trade typically before New York open. Right now, we're only at 9 a.m. We're about 30 minutes before New York session opens up. So I don't like to take the trade at that time. Second reason, we are at a 1 hour low. So we'll go ahead and mark these 1 hour lows. Now, More of an A plus setup for me is to wait for either a 1 hour higher low to get swept, a 4 hour higher low to get swept, or a previous day high and low to get swept. Those are more A plus key levels. These other levels that we had marked out earlier, down here, 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 and here, those are just areas of interest, areas of liquidity that price potentially might want to come down there and take out. But my system is based off of more of an A plus setup, which would be an hourly higher low, a 4 hour higher low, or a previous day high and low. So right now, the reason why I didn't take that trade right there is because we had just closed the hourly candle, right? So what I want to wait for is I want to wait for at some point price to come down, sweep this hourly low, and then start making the move up, right? That's would be more of your optimal entry. Okay. Okay, so now we're just waiting. Let's see what happens. And then price comes down. And then now we sweep the 1 hour low right here. And then we also have this sell side liquidity down here that it's likely going to want to get hit as well. And then we get the sweep right there. So while that's going on, since I don't like to have a whole lot on my chart, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this 1 minute inversion. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this sell side. Okay, and now we have a fresh area to look at. We have the hourly low, which is going to which got swept, and then we also have this next area of liquidity that got swept as well. And then we also have a 1 minute fair value gap right here. Okay, and then we also have another 1 minute fair value gap up here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and mark those 1 minute, mark that one, a 1 minute as well. Okay, now we're still just waiting. At this point, we're about 10 minutes away from New York session to open. I will absolutely not take a trade before New York session opens, especially when it's that close. So once again, we're just waiting. Okay, as you can see, this fair value gap gets filled. We come back down, we sweep sell side liquidity, comes up, fills it again. We got the inversion, but like I said, we are still too close to New York session open, so I'm going to ignore that trade. Okay, New York session opens up. We sweep the previous low as well as tapping into this sell side liquidity again, and then we start making the move up. Right about here is where we have our change in the state of delivery. Once I see the candle body, let me zoom in a little bit. Once I see the body of the candle close above this change in the state of delivery, that's when I'm really interested in taking the buy position. Not only do we have that, but we also have this 1 minute fair value gap that can get inverted. And that was, in fact, my entry. So, three confirmations. We have the sweep of the hourly low, we have sell side liquidity taken, we also have the change in the state of delivery, and then we also have this 1 minute fair value gap that did in fact get inverted. Once we filled this fair value gap and then it starts pulling back, actually I'll just go ahead and do this on replay mode so you can see exactly what I did. Right when it starts pulling back, that was when immediately I did two contracts, by the way. That was when immediately that I had a buy limit set right there. Okay, just because I was confident that we were going to make the move up. You know, it's not always going to, sometimes it's going to buy you in and then reverse. It happens. That's a losing trade. It's just part of it, right? But this one did, in fact, buy me in, and then it shoots up. And then right here at this area, which is an internal high, that's where I did take one contract off. Go ahead and change that to one. I took one contract off right there. And then once that contract got hit, that's when I moved my stop loss to break even. And then my last contract, I let it ride up until we fill this 5 minute fair value gap that we had marked earlier. And then sure enough, it hits my take profit. Now, the reason why I took my last contract off there is because I've seen this one too many times. That price will come up, fill this 5 minute fair value gap, and then start making the move back down. I didn't want to be trapped like that. I just decided to take one contract off there, last contract off right there, and that was it. I mean, that was still almost 80 points for the day. Obviously, it hit this next internal high right here, and then we did tap into and fill this the rest of this 5 minute fair value gap as well. So wherever you wanted to take profit at, you could have take profit right there at that eternal high where I did, which was the 5 minute fair value gap, these highs, this 5 minute fair value gap. Those are all good areas that could get filled that you can maximize your profits. But that's just where I took mine today. It all depends on your trading style, how long you like to hold trades, when you like to get out, your risk management. I mean, that's all plays a big role too, you guys. So I really hope this helps. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you want me to go over something more in detail or specific of what you want. So just remember, guys, at the end of the day, persistence pays. Take care.